Gentlemen, welcome to N Hunch, episode 9. Yeah, we already are in 9 episodes already. That is crazy.
Jeez.
Obviously, with your co-host of me, the man that never misses, Light Out Sports, and the GOAT, ZZ Huncho. Man, we have a lot to talk about. But before we even start, I got a question for you. What are your honest thoughts on Skip Bayless?
Drip Bayless.
Drip Bayless, yeah.
I think Skip is just one of the biggest characters. If some of the biggest trolls on NBA TikTok wanted to be an analyst, Skip is damn near the blueprint. It's either him or Nick. It's Nick Young who's probably the biggest troll, but Skip is just he's just legendary. I can't even really
No,
describe him.
because why did I say that? Because this is what he said this morning, and I don't know if you saw the tweet. And he tweeted this at 11 a.m. Okay,
I know what you're talking about.
why the Clippers comeback was even greater than LeBron in 2016 Finals, now an undisputed. That's what he said. And what is your opinion on that? Was that more marketing? Was that, or do you actually think that he believes that in his heart? Like,
Skip, as basic common knowledge, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he just hates LeBron.
yeah,
I do not agree with that in the slightest, even though I've been the one that always uses context when talking about the Warriors and Cavs rivalry,
yeah,
because I loved it so much.
yeah.
And I always talk about how 2016 is going to have an asterisk in like 5 to 10 years because people are going to start looking back at the series for what it was. And
Yep.
Steph was injured. But at the same time, they were up 3-1, and it never happened before. It never happened in the finals. So it's iconic for what it was. Cleveland's first title in 50 some years. It just is a moment in sports history.
It was like it froze the world, dude. It literally
Yeah.
like the world stopped after they actually came back and won.
Yeah,
And
I loved it. I loved it from a cultural standpoint.
yeah,
Even though my team wasn't in the finals, I just was looking at both of these teams, and I was like, it's a moment in time. No matter the asterisk or whatever people want to say, it's a valid excuse, but it's still the 3-1. It's going to
it's a
be
three.
remembered in NBA history.
The comeback. I mean,
Yeah.
when you start talking about the greatest comebacks of all time,
You
that one
start
has you start with that one. Yeah, you start
You start
there.
right there.
Yeah. And another thing before we officially start the show, I just made a video, Z. I just made a video. I posted it. People are very controversial about it right now. It's been up for only about 8 minutes. So I said Damian Lillard to LA confirmed. That's what I said. Confirmed. And I said here's why, okay? Damian Lillard went out and said he wants Jason Kidd to be the head coach, right? A day later, Jason Kidd withdraws his name from being part of that organization. Not because he has nothing against them. He just says he doesn't want to be part of it, right? He wishes whoever wants to be the head coach, whatever,
I know
Now,
exactly
this is the
where
thing.
you're going with this.
I know this is the thing. Rob Pelinka, when that man heard that he wants Jason Kidd as the head coach, trust me when I say this, Rob Pelinka smiled like the Grinch. This man, trust me. After that comment, Frank Vogel's gone. He's out of there. Now
He's done.
He's done. He's done. I don't care. I don't care if you get Dame or not. He's out. I don't want to see Frank Vogel as the head coach. And plus, Rob Pelinka hearing Dame say that, trust me, Jason Kidd is gonna end up being the head coach of the LA Lakers. So in other words, if Damian Lillard really wants Jason Kidd to be his head coach, he better wear a Laker jersey. That's literally the whole video. Is it a stretch? Of course. But it is a valid argument, I think.
Yeah. I was going to when I saw that post like a couple of days ago about Kidd withdrawing, and I said to myself, I was going to make a video talking about what I predicted was going to happen, which is Dame is going to end up in LA. Kidd's going to be the coach. Because
Z, I got to stop you right there. Can you repeat that one more time for me? Can you repeat that one more?
Dame is going to end up in LA.
Oh man, I wish I had a clip of you last episode. I really did. I really do.
Okay,
Oh man.
no. Last
Ah, the
episode,
world is aligning. The world is aligning. ZZ, the GOAT ZZ Hunch said it, ladies and gentlemen. Damian Lillard is gonna be an LA Laker. Whatever ZZ says is gold. All right.
okay,
So
let me
let's
rephrase
go.
what I just said. Let me
I'll buy you a
rephrase.
Laker uniform. I'll buy you a
Oh
Laker
my God.
uniform.
Let me rephrase it. I wouldn't be surprised if Damian Lillard ends up in LA. Strictly because of what's going on in the past week or so, right?
Yeah.
In game 6, we found out how terrible of a coach Vogel was.
Yep.
And I sat there and I said, not only did he not play Andre Drummond, not only did he play Anthony Davis, who literally was 25% of himself.
Yep.
Maybe 15.
Probably even 5.
But for the entire year, Montrezl Harrell was robbed of minutes, which robbed the Lakers of potentially having someone that could go out there and get rebounds and score in the paint and play interior defense. Yep. So I said, you have the reigning sixth man of the year who left the Clippers because apparently they weren't going to pay him or whatever he had said in the offseason. You have him on your team. You have LeBron. And this is why people thought the Lakers were a super team, because on paper, it makes perfect sense.
Exactly,
LeBron,
yeah.
Anthony Davis, the best duo in basketball when healthy. Then you have Andre Drummond, one of the best rebounders of the decade. And I'm not joking. Go look it up. He is one of the best rebounders of the decade. Has a bunch of articles about it. You have the sixth man of the year, Montrezl Harrell, who I was watching in LA, well, on the JV squad last year, and I was like, dang, he's really, really good. This man is really, really good. And then you have Dennis Schroeder,
who came second. Yep.
So I'm like, how is this not? This is a super team in terms of really good players in the same place at the same time, right? So you have the reigning sixth man of the year, and you just say, nah, we're just going to have you sit down on the bench and just, get like 25,000.
And not play Andre Drummond in the last game.
That's so stupid. That is the dumbest decision I think I've seen from an NBA coach in a playoff game in a long time. It doesn't matter that the previous game he played bad. If I'm the coach, I know what you're capable of.
Yep.
So that's like me saying, if I was coaching the Lakers and LeBron James scores 18 points in a whole game on less than 45% shooting, I'm going to bench LeBron James the next game because he just played bad?
Exactly. I mean, and we also got to understand that Drummond is not a scorer. That's not his thing. He's got, like, people look at him like, this is the main critique of Drummond is that, but I mean, he only shoots like 55% or 60% from the post. Okay, but how many rebounds did he end up getting that game? He ended up getting like 14, 16 rebounds. I mean, he's the best rebounder in the game for a reason. So you have to play him. We were struggling with offensive rebounds the whole game. And you're telling me we have the best defender in the game in the bench? Frank Vogel is out of here. Now, I told Crafty about this theory, right? And he told me that it would affect LeBron's legacy if Dame ended up being a Laker with him and AD. What do you think about that?
It would affect LeBron's legacy?
Yep.
What did he mean by that?
That I'm pretty sure. I don't want to put words in his mouth. So Crafty, if you're watching this, we love you. I'm just gonna probably go on what he meant. Maybe, guys, this is just. I'm not saying he said this. Okay, I'm just thinking what he said. He probably meant that. I'm pretty sure people won't look at him as the GOAT because he's getting help at this stage of his career. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's what he. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what he meant.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I see where he's coming from with that because, and I think he means that because LeBron fans are very wishy-washy with the comments that they make. Yeah, and it's been made very clear since the Lakers got bounced out of the first round because the excuse is. The main excuse that LeBron fans use isn't even the most legitimate excuse that you could possibly have. And I'm not a Lakers fan, and I'm giving him that excuse, which is Anthony Davis, who is arguably your best player on the floor.
Not arguably. Not arguably. He is the best player.
Yeah,
He
and
is.
I don't, you know me, I don't want to say that to make, well, fuck it, I don't care. He's your best player on the floor.
Yeah,
It's because LeBron James is 36. Like,
yeah.
Anthony Davis is offensively and defensively just there, right?
Yeah.
So that's your excuse. That player got injured. But LeBron fans say he's 36, he was 36, he was 36. And I was like, shut up. But then they say, well, when he gets back next year after a full season of rest, he's going to be this, and this. And I'll be like, okay, well, he's 30, he's going to be 37. So your 36 excuse is just because of his age, right? So you think that him being a year older, wouldn't that mean that he would still not be good? I mean, not as good as, past LeBron's?
I think people need to understand that although, like, look, it's that, I guess, Hoopology made a video of this and made perfect sense. We have high expectations for LeBron because of what he has accomplished, and we get that. Now, when you look at it as like an unbiased basketball fan, and you start looking at LeBron James now, LeBron is not getting any better. As like time is going against him instead of going with him. I mean, time is not helping him. You could tell. Yeah, you could tell. Am I saying LeBron's going to be ass next season? No, I'm not saying that. He's still going to be an elite basketball player. Arguably, probably a top 5 player in the NBA for me, but no longer the best. He is not. This LeBron James is not the 2018 LeBron that carried that bundle of trash to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Trust me. If LeBron was put in that situation this year, they would have got eliminated. Not in the first round, probably in the second round. I mean, to
me, I've looked at it and I've watched LeBron James my entire life, right? So I've seen every version of LeBron James to love LeBron James, right? But I've said it myself. LeBron James hasn't been the best player in the league probably since after 2018. Because you cannot refute that LeBron was the best player since in that 2018 playoff run. You couldn't refute that at all. He was
not even 2019. Not even 2019 either.
In 2019,
he got
hurt.
Yep.
When he went to the Lakers, and I was like, well, I think we should probably look at Giannis because he's very destructive on offense and just as good on defense. So maybe Giannis is the best player of basketball. And of course, Kevin Durant was hurt too. So,
I'm pretty sure you can make an argument for 2020 that he was the best in the world. I'm pretty sure you could make an argument for him. Definitely top 3.
I've always said Kevin Durant has been right behind LeBron for so many years. So I was like, if LeBron gets hurt or we just see him remotely slowing down, it's now Kevin Durant.
This is the thing with Kevin Durant. I want to stop because I want to forget this. And you're so right about this. People and this is more for casual NBA fans. Like they've said LeBron over KD for so many, many, many years that now that we're looking at the game, it's like, damn, Kevin Durant is that dude. And
because yes, you're right about that.
You're so right about that. Yeah.
Because literally casuals, like you said, they look at they let the narrative of Kevin Durant drive and dictate what they see, what they choose to see on the court. Yep. For me, I was like, even if I know a guy who is a diehard Oklahoma City fan, and he was pissed when Kevin Durant left. But he told me, he was like, I can't knock this guy's talent. I still love him as a basketball player because when you watch Kevin Durant play, like Kevin Durant can go out there and drop 100 points in a freaking basketball game, and casual, he still doesn't have rings. He's still like, shut up, bro. Literally shut up. Because literally, I'm like, I am perfectly fine with people like me and you and Crafty and Hoopology who will actually sit there and acknowledge greatness.
Yep.
That's why when I look at LeBron James, I don't poke at LeBron James when he fails, and it's not entirely his fault. Like the last time I poked at LeBron James was 2011, but that was because I was a Heat fan and I was just pretty confused as to what happened.
Yeah, and I mean, LeBron really didn't show up that series either, so he deserved that. He really did.
If you want to knock him for something like 2018, I'm like, who else would have done anything better than what LeBron James did?
Yeah, dropped 50 the first game.
Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan, Shaq, nobody could have done any better than what LeBron James did. And I'm like, I just hate people that do that type of stuff. 2017, I can see you making somewhat of a case for it because I remember that Christmas game that year when the Cavs beat the Warriors. All Cavs fans, the Warriors suck. They got KD, still can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then they beat them in 5, and I'm like, well, LeBron showed up. Kyrie kind of showed up. Maybe we got to look at Love and all these other guys because LeBron and Kyrie showed up in 2017.
These guys, I mean, I think LeBron almost averaged a triple-double that series again. And
I was like,
Kyrie was dropping, 30, 26, 20, something like that.
The stat sheet, it's a lot in terms of like the top 6 players at that time for both teams. It was very, very similar. Like I think Kyrie averaged like 1 more point than Steph. Obviously, KD and LeBron were button heads.
Yeah.
J.R. Smith, Kevin Love was averaging, I think, close to what Clay was averaging or maybe more. Like J.R. Smith was averaging more than Draymond Green, obviously. And just all of these things, I'm like, on paper, this looks like it should have went to 7. But when you watch it, you're like, okay, yeah, the Warriors were just kind of they just kind of started running.
That's why you can't look at stats all the time. You can't.
Exactly.
You really can't, because the stats tell you a whole different story. If everything, honestly, if we just look at stats, LeBron is the greatest of all time. But because people like use context and like watching Michael, like before I call LeBron the GOAT, let me go back and see Michael Jordan. Why do they call the GOAT? And then you sit down and watch a full game of Michael Jordan. You see there's a difference between watching highlights and watching what the impact Michael Jordan did in 2 hours in a basketball game. This is what Stuart Fluent said in the video.
You just said something that I'm going to say now and probably sticks this video because somebody, like people in the comment section that say things like, you never watched Michael Jordan play live. You only watch highlights. So he can't be the GOAT. Okay, so in 20 years, I dare your kid to come home and tell you LeBron James is the GOAT, because off your logic, if your kid who never watched LeBron James play live watches highlights, wouldn't that mean that he can't call LeBron James the greatest of all time? Or KD or anybody else who pops up in that conversation in 20-some years, they never watched him play live. So Ken and Curry might be in that discussion in 20 years, maybe. Or Bronny might be in that discussion 20 years later because you're watching them.
Luka. I mean, who knows at that point? I mean, who knows? But like, again, if you're a basketball fan, and I have LeBron as the GOAT, but like, I understand why people say Jordan is the GOAT. It's not like if you say Jordan, I'm like, oh no, I'm not like that. It's like you got. I've sat down and watched Jordan. And that guy was a menace to society. I mean, he was Jordan, and so I don't know, man.
I've always said if you do not have those two at top 2, then interchangeably, I'm just not listening to any. I know a guy who said that he had Shaq ahead of Michael Jordan, and I said, this is why some people
said that.
Shaq from Player's Choice.
That's what he said. Wait. He said he
had Shaq ahead of
over Michael.
Yeah, his list was like LeBron, Kareem, Shaq, and then Jordan, or like LeBron, Shaq, and then Jordan.
Come on, let me pause right there. Shaq, I respect Player's Choice. I respect your show.
Oh, I love Player's Choice.
That was stupid. That was stupid, dude. That was stupid. Stupid. All right, let's keep going. Oh. That was stupid. I'm clipping that. I'm posting it on TikTok.
Please do. We got to do a collab with Player's Choice.
Yeah, we do. Because that was horrible. That was a horrible take. Anyways, it was horrible. Anyways, speaking about old times, let's transition now to what's happening today. We got Phoenix, Denver. We got Bucks, Nets. Let's talk with Phoenix, Denver. Let's predict the series, and then let's just tell each other what's gonna happen today, and then we'll predict the series. All right. We could go with you first, and then I'll go with my prediction.
Okay. So Denver. I mean, wait. What's the series we're talking about? What's the first one?
Denver, Phoenix.
Denver, Phoenix. Okay. So with Denver and Phoenix, I'm predicting Suns in 6 or 7.
I agree.
And I'm torn only because the Nuggets were able to hang with Dame and CJ. Only having pretty much Joker.
Yep.
And Dame and CJ ain't no joke. They lost in 6, right?
In 6, yeah.
They lost in 6. And Dame had 55
2
and CJ Silver
overtimes.
again.
Did
2
not
overtimes.
miss. Yeah.
Would not let that team die.
18 straight points in overtime.
Yeah, and so when I look at the Suns, I'm like, okay, Dame can get hot. As we saw in Game 6, Lakers versus Suns, Devin Booker can also get hot. This is the same man that dropped 70 points in a basketball game. Granted, he lost, but this is also the same man who dropped 6 threes in a quarter on the Lakers in the first quarter.
Yeah, it hurts that you're saying that.
I know. I want to burn you for that. But then again, my team is also out, so we're both in the same boat.
Yeah, we're in the same boat.
But I think with what the Suns have, they got Book. They got, hopefully, CP3 is going to have a little bit of time to kind of get that shoulder a little bit back.
Mm-hmm.
With the way that DeAndre Ayton played against a healthy Anthony Davis in games 1, 2, and 3, he averaged 16, 10 on 80% shooting from the field for the entire series. So I'm expecting, if he plays like that, now he's got a job. It's the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's playing like that,
this is the thing, right? First of all, I'm speaking for all Laker fans. Laker fans, we do not hate the Suns. We don't, right? They beat us up. I mean, like, it was fair. I mean, you cannot look at it and say it was the refs. No. Ever since it wasn't the refs. If anything, the refs were less, right? Like, it was in the refs. Okay. And secondly, Devin ever said that I think it was like Game 2, and you said Devin Booker has not cracked a smile. I've always was looking at Devin Booker see if he's ever smiled. I was like, that was, and he never did. If anything, he was talking smack the whole time. He was. I mean, that you cannot look at Devin Booker and be like, yeah, he's that guy. Anyways, Denver Nuggets. What do I think is gonna happen? I have the Suns in 6, and not saying that the Nuggets don't have a chance, but the difference between the Portland Trailblazers and the Phoenix Suns is that I feel like overall the Phoenix Suns has better pieces than the Portland Trailblazers. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to go Phoenix Suns in 6 games. But there's a guy named Jokic that might win MVP this year. Or not might. He will. He will win MVP this year
because of that Portland series.
Yeah. This man is no joke. He is no joke. If you think, I didn't even mean to do. Okay, anyways, he's literally no joke. Like, he's a joker. He's no joke. Like, this man could drop 35, 15, and 12 assists to win a basketball game in a daily basis as a center. As a center, not a point guard.
Seen anybody like him.
As a center. And we cannot sleep on the Joker. And I really think that Ayton is gonna struggle trying to stop the Joker in the offensive end. In the offensive end, I think this is not Anthony Davis. I mean, for me, I've said this in a video back. They said that Anthony Davis was the best big man. I said no. His name is the name is Joker. That's who he is. I mean, obviously, this man can do it all, right?
Even healthy, I'm taking Joker's better than Anthony.
I said the same thing. I'm taking Joker over AD. This man is no joke. I mean, he could do everything on the basketball court. We also got to look at Michael Porter Jr. If that man drops 25 points, this could be a series. You got to look at Campasso. You got to look at Barton. You got to look at all these players, man. These guys are not jokes. They're not playing. Trust me.
When I look at both of these teams, I have a feeling that some other players, not role players, but some players that can get hot, like a Michael Porter Jr. can handle literally, Michael Porter Jr. was pretty much the reason that the Nuggets ran up the score in Game 6 against Portland. And then for the Suns, their underdog guy for me will probably be either Johnson, Cam Johnson, or Jay Crowder.
I hate Cam Johnson, and I hate him like in a like I despise him. It's just what he did to the Lakers.
I'm watching him play, and I'm like, this kid can shoot. Like, it wasn't even a heat of the moment. Like, this dude's jumper Crowder's jumper. He can hit, but he's just having. he's just playing bad. I mean, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure I think he was playing bad in the Miami series against the Lakers in the finals too. But for a guy like him in a series that you don't have that much expectation on you in terms of like, because honestly, the majority of people were like, it's going to be the Lakers. It's going to be the Lakers. So that's a lot of pressure on a lot of people. Booker showed up. Ayton showed up. So now you have the Nuggets, and you're kind of the favorite.
Wait, hold up.
Because Jamal Murray isn't playing, but that's going to give you a lot.
Keep going. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that they got some unsung heroes on both squads, namely Michael Porter Jr. and namely Cam Reddish or Jay Crowder, probably Cam Reddish. I mean, Cam Johnson. What am I saying?
Cam Johnson. Yeah, I'm like, Cam Reddish not in that. Yeah, so, no, I agree with you. I mean, this would go to 7 games. It really can. It has a potential. Now, Jamal Murray was in the Denver Nuggets right now. I probably favor the Nuggets more than the Suns, but that's a different story for a different day. Now we got Bucks and we got the Nets. Now, James, we got James Harden not playing tonight because of his hamstring. Hopefully he gets better. I don't wish injury upon anyone, so I hope he gets better. I really yes, this is in. Okay, I'm gonna go first. Okay. I understand this is in Brooklyn. I understand that the Bucks, although Giannis played excellent, the Bucks didn't show up as a team, and they should have won that game with no James Harden. The key is, and I don't sound crazy, Blake Griffin better not have a game like that again. If Blake Griffin doesn't have a game like he did last game, I feel like the Bucks will win by 6 points tonight. I really do. And I'm gonna tell Poppy Solo that it's time to go to the nursing home and you sit down over there for the rest of the series, because this old man is not gonna like that the Bucks are gonna beat this team in a 6-game series. I don't know what he's gonna say when he does. So I have the Bucks in 6, and I also have the Bucks winning today. What do you guys see? Who do you think is winning this series?
Definitely the Nets. And the reason I say this is because at the end of the day, we were talking about this on the first podcast. I was like, Kevin Durant and James Harden together, watching them play when Kyrie was on those PTOs, they were absolutely deadly. It was really, really, it was just beautiful basketball. The way that those two, you can tell
they play in Oklahoma.
Chemistry from that 2012 OKC. Those two like playing with each other. With KD and Kyrie, it's more like it's business. We have to go out here and do what we have to do as business. No fun and games, but we know what each other can bring. That's also deadly. The fact that James Harden played 43 seconds in the game, in total, and the Nets won this game. Now, convincing.
Not like
the blame people put it on is on Chris Middleton, and rightfully so. I think he was like 6 for 22 or something like that. But the fact of the matter is, Kevin Durant was struggling early, and then he turned into Kevin Durant. And then they lost convincingly. When I don't really count what the final score was because it wasn't the starters. It was whatever. But KD and Kyrie are they play like it's a business, like they know what they got to do. James Harden and KD play like we know what we can do. They don't know it, but we're going to show them. So with James Harden out, hopefully the hamstring injury isn't that massive. But KD and Kyrie can hold their own against the squad. Like you said, Giannis played really well. And at the end of the day, he just didn't have that. His second guy didn't show up.
He didn't. And although I love Drew Holiday, he's not that second guy. He's literally just the third option and plays great defense. I mean, I think he had a really great game. He only had 17 points though. But that's good for Drew Holiday. That is really good for Drew. But I gotta, Z, I know you're gonna smile after this one. I said that not too long ago. I said that James Harden was the best player in the Nets, and I have to. I have to take that back. Zoinks, and I'm gonna say that I was wrong and I missed, and the best player is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is the best player on the Nets, and like just the way that he closed that game off. I'm playing Z.
See, now when you were talking, I was looking at Kyrie Irving's stats, and I was like, 11 for 26, 3 for 11 from 3,
No, no, it's Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's the best player in the Nets. I was wrong after seeing what that man did against not only the Celtics. I really didn't count because it's the Celtics, but against the Bucks and just doing whatever he wanted in the second half. I was like, okay, dude, that he's a cheat code. You can't stop him. You really can't. Now we have to see James Harden. See when he comes back. Let's see what happens. As of right now, Kevin Durant, no doubt, is the best player in Brooklyn. Let's see what James Harden does when he comes back, though. But and another thing, whoever wins this series, and I said this to my dad, whoever wins this series, between the Bucks and the Nets are gonna go all the way.
Yeah,
they're going all the way. Well, this is the NBA. We're watching the NBA Finals. This is literally what we're watching. That's how highly I have this series. Now, I don't think Philly have a chance.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So with you making that statement, we've seen some Philly fans say that they can somehow, some way beat the Brooklyn Nets. And I've been saying this since the start of the season when I first heard that blasphemous BS. And I said, you mean to tell me that the Brooklyn Nets,
yeah,
versus the Philadelphia 76ers, who their best player is Joel Embiid, and they're going up against sorry.
No, you good. I like hearing basketball.
They're going up against Kevin Durant, who is the best player in basketball. Kyrie Irving. And somebody said, well, Ben Simmons can contain Kevin Durant. And I said, I beg your pardon? Contain Kevin Durant? Stop Kevin Durant? Yeah, no. Philly has, to me, is now an afterthought. Because this is the series that nobody was talking about way back when they were talking about Philly and the Brooklyn Nets. Mm-hmm. And I was like, the Bucks make the most logical sense because they have Giannis, a 2-time back-to-back MVP. Chris Middleton, who went from underrated to getting the proper respect that he deserves as the second option.
And Chris Middleton shows up in the playoffs. It's not like he shows in the playoffs. He shows
up in the first round. He hit the game winner.
Exactly. Last game was the one of the first games that we really saw him struggle. So again, it's just one game. Keep going.
And then in a lot of ways, the Bucks' big three is in a lot of ways better than Philly's big three. I mean, Philly's big three is just what? Joel, Ben, and Tobias Harris, or Seth Curry on any given on a random
night? Seth Curry is like a joker card. That's what he is. Because you don't know what he's gonna do that day.
But when you're looking at Drew Holiday, and Ben Simmons is obviously a really great defender.
Yeah.
But Drew Holiday can play defense too.
Yeah.
Giannis can play defense too. Chris Middleton can, and the difference between Drew and Ben is Drew can make up for it on the offensive end in terms of scoring.
Yeah.
And then you got Chris Middleton. There really isn't much to say about that one. And then you have Giannis. There really isn't much to say about that. Well, Joel Embiid, this man is probably, hopefully not, but this man is on a slight meniscus tear. Now, I don't want to see Joel, out of all people, who I loved watching this season, to go out there and risk tearing that even more. Give him some time, but we don't know how much time.
And also, that is, speaking to that injury, right? It's really impactful. Just all I have to say, Trae Young. If Trae Young did what he did last night against supposedly the guys that are gonna beat the Nets or the Bucks, right? Whoever wins that series, you're really gonna sit down and tell me that. It's crazy. You cannot have a bad night against the Nets at all. You can't. You need to bring your A game every single night. And if Joel Embiid is struggling, that's it. Call it a day.
I said this before. If Joel Embiid is
call it a day. Yeah.
And I'm talking about not if he's not playing, but if he's off and he's playing, it's over for Philadelphia.
Yep.
This man is the one that's scoring all the buckets.
That's the problem with Philly. That's the problem with Philly. They rely on Joel Embiid way too much. That's why I've been saying trade Ben Simmons. You have to trade him. It's time. That experiment with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid is over. You know what sounds great? I know this is not ever, ever, ever happening. But if Joel Embiid had Steph Curry along his side, instead of Ben Simmons, oh my
Hell, if he had
Lord.
Trae Young by his side instead
If he
of Ben
had
Simmons.
Trae Young, if he had Dame, if he
At
had
the end of the
a
day,
shooter.
yeah, certain players. At the end of the day, everybody, the ones that love Ben Simmons are like, well, shooting isn't everything. When it comes to the NBA playoffs, and you have one guy who is your biggest player, who is the one that's giving the most of your scoring.
Yep.
It's kind of like if they decide to trap this muff, then who is he going to pass to, Tobias or Seth? But wouldn't it be great if he could kick it out to somebody that could shoot, who is also running point and can also play make, which is what Steph Curry can do, like to your point.
Yep.
But I was like, with certain NBA players, we keep giving them so many excuses, right? Andrew Wiggins is also one of those players where it's like he'll eventually get there. He's very inconsistent, and I'm kind of tired.
No, no. Andrew Wiggins is done. I don't want to hear it.
And if we forgot about Markelle Fultz. We stopped giving him excuses. That's tough. But for Ben Simmons, we're sitting here like, well, you just wait till he gets a jump shot. We've been waiting since he was a rookie twice.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like. How long are we gonna wait?
He's still in the contention for Rookie of the Year this year.
I'm just like, dude, how long are we gonna wait for this? Like, are you you're basically, you do realize that the biggest liability is his shooting.
Yeah.
But when it comes to winning playoff series,
it's shooting.
This man can't even really be on the floor with the game on the line because look at what Wizards did. Did they hack to Ben Simmons?
They hacked to Ben Simmons.
He shit the bed harder than Paul Pierce did.
Yeah.
In the finals, literally. I don't want to hear that crap.
No, Ben. Look again. Ben Simmons, great defensive player, great, but he cannot be the set. You know, Ben Simmons is Draymond Green for Philadelphia. That's what he is. That's what he is. He is Draymond Green for Philly. Joel Embiid is looking for his second option. That's what he is looking for. If you want to keep Ben Simmons, fine, keep Ben Simmons. But you have to trade a lot of pieces because Tobias Harris is not that guy. Seth Curry is not that guy. All those players in Philadelphia are not that guy to help Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid is struggling against Trae Young. And if you're telling me they make it out of the second round against the damn Hawks just to get, I think, probably a 5-game series against the Nets or the Bucks. No, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle. No, you can't say otherwise. You really can't. So that's just my take on the Philadelphia 76ers. Ben Simmons is overrated. That's what he is.
Yes,
that's what he is. Anyways, last topic of the day. Luka is gone. He's out. Tough. Now, Luka Doncic, he is slowly but surely becoming mentally becoming LeBron James. Now, why do I say that? Trust me when I say this. Everyone in Dallas is in the hot seat.
Yep.
Everyone in Dallas is in the hot seat. Kristaps is in the hot seat.
Definitely.
And Kristaps for sure is in the hot seat. Kleber's in the hot seat. Tim Hardaway, unfortunately, will be in the hot seat, even though he had a great series. I mean, again, Luka Doncic is great. He is just tell me not. Kawhi Leonard in Dallas makes perfect sense.
It does.
It makes perfect sense. Kawhi Leonard, probably the best or second best two-way player of all time when it comes to being overall great in offense and overall being great in defense. You pair him up with Luka Doncic and have probably, I don't know who as your center, Boban as your center. He's been playing great in that series as well. Keep Tim Hardaway Jr. That's an NBA championship team. I mean, Luka Doncic is literally looking for a second option. He doesn't have that. He really doesn't. And the guy that everybody, I mean, Kristaps Porzingis said today that he is frustrated because he's feeling like I don't know what it was, an afterthought or something like that. Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of tough that you're 7 foot and you just want to shoot threes and you literally are as Stephen A. Smith said earlier, he is a pedestrian on the court because he chooses not to drive. Literally, you are 7 feet tall and you had one.
No. He is 7'3".
Oh crap! I forgot.
Yep.
More.
Yep.
And you had one rebound. Uno.
Yep.
Whatever rebound is in Spanish. You had
You know,
one.
you know who else speaks Spanish?
Who?
Compasso. And you know he's
Yeah.
averaging more rebounds than Kristoff, and he is 5'11".
And you want to tell me that you feel like an afterthought? You are playoff P.
Yep.
Excuse me. You are what playoff P was last year. Because playoff P is relatively not as much as we've seen in the Indiana series, but he's here. He showed up. Because what playoff P did was he literally was like, if I'm off games, what was it? Games 6 and 7. Game 6, he was 6 for 15. Game 7, he was 5 for 15. But in game 6, he had double-digit rebounds. And then in game 7, he had double-digit assists. Because if you're off, which is what I was trying to tell Julius Randle's stupid self, if you're off, find another way to contribute, except shoot. Because what Paul George could have done was, I'm going to go shoot 22 shots like Chris Middleton or 23, and make 6 of them. But what did he do? He said, I'm going to contribute in other ways, whether it's rebounding, my defense, or my passing. Kristaps Porzingis decided, if I'm off from 3, well, shit, I'm 7'3", and I'm just not going to get a rebound either, for real. But I'm going to feel like an afterthought after this one, because this European legend right here, who went 46, and how many assists? 14?
14 or like 10 or something like that. I don't know.
You feel like an afterthought? What? Make that make sense to me. You are playing with one of the best young prospects, if not the best young prospect in basketball. And you didn't pull your weight. So now you feel like, oh, the media is looking at me. No, the media is clowning your big ass. That's what they're doing. Get on the block.
And there's a difference between Paul George and Kristoff. The reason people clown Paul George, one, he called himself playoff P. He called himself that, right? So that's on him. But two, the main reason why is because they know that Paul George can show up in the playoffs. Like, it's not like he's never shown that he can't. He has. It's the problem. He has been struggling these last couple years. And for that reason, people were clowning on Paul George. Now Paul George is finding a way to contribute. Like you said, the thing with Kristaps Porzingis is these are 2 seasons. 1, he got injured. 2, when he didn't get injured and he had basically Dallas beat. They really did. They had him beat and couldn't get the job done and had to give every ounce of pressure to finish a basketball game to a 22-year-old prospect named Luka.
And then on top of that, Mavs fans were saying last year, the reason we lost is because we didn't have Kristaps. Now this year, the reason they lost is because you did have Kristaps. So in a lot of ways, you really didn't dodge a bullet. That motherfucker was shooting blanks 2 ways. I
love Mac Daddy the Ryan show. You know that, right?
Isn't he a Mavs fan? Oh my God.
Oh man, where is it? I'm looking for it. He definitely put it on his story. Where is it?
That's terrible.
There it is. Okay, hold up. Mac Daddy, if you're watching this, bro, we love you. We love you. Hold up. Where is share screen? All right. Hold up. Can you hear this?
I can hear something. Oh, there it goes.
All right, hold up.
Oh my God, that looks like a rant.
Let it restart. Look at this.
Yikes.
Is he wrong?
I didn't hear anything that he said, but what did he say shortly?
He basically just said what we said. I don't want to. Everybody's in the hot seat. Kristoff, Maxi Kleber, Mark Cuban, and whoever is the general manager there. Get your head out of your asses. It's time to make trades. That's what he basically said.
That and the funny thing is, I feel like we were all duped. I feel like we were all duped as much as we were last night with that stupid Logan
Yep.
Paul and Floyd fight. Because
Oh
literally,
my God.
when Chris was the Mavericks, we were like, "Oh shoot, this is gonna be great." The Euro brothers or whatever they are. And I was like,
Yeah.
"This is gonna be cool because Kristaps can shoot the three. Luka,
It's more like it's more like the Euro brother and the step brother. That's what it is because it's not.
That's the adopted kid. That's the Harry
Yeah.
Potter-esque adopted kid.
That's
so
what
I'm
it
like,
is.
bro, literally, Kristaps Porzingis. I was watching the regular season. The Warriors and the Mavs played. Kristaps Porzingis was the tallest player on the floor. The Warriors did not have James Wiseman. Their tallest player was Draymond Green. They didn't even have Kevon Looney on the floor. And Kristaps Porzingis was still shooting threes. Like, the Warriors won the game because Kristaps just kept having it up at the top of his head at three-point line. And I was like, bro, that was the biggest thing he got clowned for when he got drafted. They were like, this dude's fragile. I'm like, I remember when he was with the Knicks, he dunked on like a couple players, and then, they're like, oh, well, he can dunk. I have not seen him dunk on someone since he got drafted.
I don't think I've seen him dunking on.
Carmelo Anthony was on the Knicks. What happened?
I think he's scared to get injured again. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That's it. That's the only explanation I have. That's the only way I could defend Kristaps at this moment. He's afraid of getting injured. That's it. That's it.
That's kind of tough.
Then anything else? Yep. I mean, again, that's the only thing. But anyways, two things. Forgot to talk about this. Jazz, Clippers. That's happening. That's happening now. That's gonna be great. I actually have the Clippers winning that series. What do you got?
I predict that to go to 7. And I'm going to take the Jazz.
The Jazz. I mean, it could happen. It could happen.
I'm going to take the Jazz specifically because of Spider. I watched the Jazz lose to the Nuggets last year in the playoffs, but I watched Spider also go off. So
50. Yeah.
When you look at the Jazz, they have a fantastic defense, and an offensive shouldn't work because we look at the Jazz. Some people look at the Jazz as fraudulent number ones. You said that before. They were fraudulent number ones. But after actually sitting back and watching them, I said, Mike Conley has the same impact for the Jazz that Chris Paul has for the Suns. His presence, his facilitating, all of that. He had the same thing back when he was in the grindhouse in Memphis. You take that with Donovan Mitchell, the best interior defender in basketball, and potential defensive player of the year in Rudy Gobert. You have Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench as your reigning sixth man of the year.
Great season.
I'm like, bro. And then you put in our modern day Larry Bird and Joe Ingles.
Yep. And then Donovan. Just to top it all off, Donovan Mitchell at the end.
And then you have the Clippers, and we got Kawhi and Paul George. But if one of them plays bad,
the key is Paul George. The key is Paul George. It slided with Dallas because Dallas only had Luka to count on, but with the Jazz, there's a bunch of other options that is not Luka. I mean, you got, like you said, Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley, Joe Ingles, Jordan Clarkson. All these players are bad. Like they're bad. Like they're like bad in a good way. My bad. But you know what I mean? Like they could finish a game off if they wanted to. Each individual can.
Yeah, but I look at Kawhi and I'm like, everybody was like, "Oh, the Clippers are gonna get swept." I was like, "They're not gonna get swept.
They're not getting swept.
One good game, and then they picked up 2, and then Kawhi choked in game 5, and then it went to 6, and then it went back to 7.
Kawhi showed up in game 6 in convincing fashion. That's what he
also showed up in game 7 in hella convincing fashion.
Yeah.
So I think that one of the top players to not bet against in the playoffs is Kawhi.
It's Kawhi. Yeah, I mean, he showed it in Toronto. He showed it up last year, minus against the Nuggets. Yeah. But this is the thing. This is how how the Clippers won that series was, I think Kawhi literally just said, well, no one's guarding Luka. I'm just gonna guard him and just drop 40 on the other side just because I can.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what he said because that's what he was doing. He was making Luka's life impossible. Although he had 29 in Game 6 and 40. I think he had 44 last game, right? Or something
yeah,
like that.
something like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, yeah, but he still made his. Those are 44 earned points. It made it difficult. So yeah, I agree. It could be Jazz in 7. I have Clippers in 6 though. I do have the Clippers in 6. But finally, just to end the show, you brought up a robbery that was the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight. What's your opinion? What?
I'm very impressed with Logan Paul. I'm
Yeah.
very impressed. But Jake Paul, I just hate to break it to you, brother, but yeah, your brother lost. Clean.
Oh no.
It was literally. I don't even think by a landslide. I think that'd be an understatement. Floyd Mayweather looked like he could care less about
Yeah.
the fight. Floyd Mayweather looked like he didn't break a single sweat. And
But when
it's
you,
how
yeah.
Floyd Mayweather's been for the 50 wins that he has. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
now the 51 wins. But for Logan Paul, this man, after the 5th round, this man was literally looking like a WWE wrestler, just holding his, like the Undertaker in the ring,
Yeah.
holding his breath at 40, 50 years old. Like, this man was clearly exhausted. And granted, Floyd has a lot of boxing experience, obviously. But for Logan Paul, I'm like, bro, I looked at it and I was like, Floyd could have literally knocked out Logan Paul if he tried. This
Yeah.
man
He
literally was
wasn't
like, I'm
trying.
here for the money, and this kid can go the distance. That's great to see for Logan
Yeah.
Paul.
I
But
get. And look, I think Logan won the fight. Not like in like when I say he won the fight, I mean like he lasted 8 rounds against the greatest boxer in our generation. He
yeah,
did, and that's awesome for me. That's why I say he won in a way. But obviously, judges were there. Everyone saw the fight. I mean, Floyd Mayweather. It wasn't a landslide. It was more like an avalanche of a like. It was he controlled the whole fight. I'm just impressed that Logan Paul did his thing, and was there. I mean, the first round, I was laughing. I don't know if you saw this man just started swinging at Floyd Mayweather in the first round.
yeah,
It was so funny. It was funny. And then another funny part was when they showed Logan Paul's record, and then they showed
yeah.
Mayweather. I was like, nah, bro, they did him dirty. It
The
was
the
oh
amount
one and 50.
the commentators were clowning Logan Paul the whole
Yeah,
fight.
they were. They were. It was really biased. I didn't like that though. I really didn't like that, but it was
Well,
cool, I
yeah, I
guess.
didn't like it because I was like, if this was Jake Paul, I'd love it. But I was like, Logan
Yeah.
really isn't like Logan is nothing really like his brother.
Mm-hmm. He's
Um,
more. Everybody loves Logan. I mean, he's cool. I mean, now
yeah,
everybody loves Logan. Back then it was the different story, but now they love Logan. I love Logan. He's cool. He's a cool guy. So I mean, yeah, I'm just happy that I wasn't the one that bought the fight. That's all I gotta say. I'm just happy I didn't buy the fight. That's all I gotta say. Because that was a robbery of my money. If I bought it, I would be pissed. I would be.
I went on Twitch and I was like, all right, I'm gonna find it here. Cool. All right, I was like, I was like, I will not buy this fight based off strictly the rules. Like,
Yep.
the rules is, I was like, I predicted the fight before it even happened. I was like, it's gonna go 8 rounds, and we're not going to have a winner, and it's going to be who we think got it done. So I was
Yep.
like, we don't have any judges. What the hell is the point of this? That's pretty stupid.
And at the end of the fight was kind of stupid too. Like
Yeah,
it was like they shook hands, they showed respect, and they walked out. I mean, I get it. Yeah, that's awesome. But that happens after we have a clear winner. The clear winner was Floyd Mayweather. I get it. But like I like it being announced who won.
yeah, because
yeah,
then it's like the comment section is. I mean, the comment section wasn't really split, but
yeah.
now you have people putting narratives in their head of, oh, since Logan went 8 rounds, he won. What?
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't.
Yeah, no. I'm like, this is dumb. Now,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, that was a joke of a like big exhibition fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm looking at other big fights that we've paid for to watch: Manny versus Floyd, Floyd versus Connor, and I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why they had a bunch of hype. and they actually lived up to it because we
Because
got
there was a winner.
yeah.
Yeah. And Jake, well, fortunately for us, Jake Paul is fighting oh my god, what's his name?
Woodley.
Woodley. Yeah. UFC legend. I mean, I don't know if you saw the press conference or not. Like it was like a press conference in the ring. It's on YouTube. Basically, Jake Paul was like, I think Jake Paul actually won his first verbal, like exchange with someone.
Yeah.
But this is what he said, word for word. This is what he said. The Woodley was like, "I'ma beat your ass," and then his boys in the back like, "I'ma beat your ass. I'ma beat your ass." Like a whole music. It looked like I feel like I was watching High School Musical. Like that's what it is, right? And then like everybody was just dancing. I was like, okay, what's going on? Anyways, Jake Paul wasn't phased, and this is what he said. I'm like, bro, I'm the one paying your purse. Your money is coming from my pocket. Now, if you're so confident that you can beat my ass, if you win, not only you're gonna get more money, I'm gonna double what I promised you you're gonna get. But if you lose, you gotta donate that money to a charity of my choice. Woodley did not answer the question, and he just kept doing the little song that I'm gonna beat your ass. After that, I'm rooting for Jake Paul this fight. I want Jake Paul to knock out Woodley. Because one thing is talking smack, right? I like that. But I like people talking smack and really believe they're gonna win. I want Jake Paul to win. I want Jake Paul to knock out Woodley after that. Come on, bro. You can't just say that and then not like back it up. If you're so confident you can beat Jake Paul, accept the bet. I got me so mad.
For me, I'm still gonna go for Woodley strictly because of what happened last night. Jake Paul is the equivalent of Tekashi 6ix9ine, and if you don't know who that is, then I don't know how. But if you're in this stream, you would probably know other NBA TikTokers who are also trolls. There's this one dude. I forgot.
Let out sports.
We were supposed to have him on the show. Like 3 weeks ago. I think you DM'd him like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And he didn't respond for
don't know who it is.
And then he DM'd me and then didn't respond to me to set up a time. So yeah, there's guys like that.
Jam asked the perfect question. Any shrooms today?
No, I'm drug free. I like to keep it that way. But for other guys, possibly not. And this is another thing that I'm gonna just go ahead and say off of the Paul and Woodley talk. The last thing I'm gonna say, I want Woodley to win because of what Jake Paul did last night by saying his brother beat Floyd, because that was stupid.
Yeah.
But aside from that, what he just said. So we were supposed to have Boom on this show some weeks ago. I was gonna make a TikTok about it just to clarify everything for everybody. Boom not only has ducked me, but he's ducked Light Out. And he ducked the entire show. Which means he also ducked his fans, my fans, Light Out's fans, and everybody, other NBA TikTokers that want to see this go down. So this kind of makes Light Out told me, you might be the baddest guy on TikTok. The one guy that everybody who rolls and gets away with it, when the pressure is brought to them, they completely ignore it. Which makes me think about what you just said about Woodley versus Paul, and Paul throwing this in his face and Woodley completely ignoring it. Same thing. I would beat Jake Paul in this situation. Because I have nothing to lose. I have facts to back up my statements. Plus, I was willing to listen to someone else debate. Now, we were supposed to have Crazy Shot Josh on here earlier. And he ducked, yesterday?
Yesterday,
He said, I can't
Instagram
make it.
Live.
Yeah, I can't make it. And I told Crazy Shot Josh that if he did come on Light and Hunch, it would be a pretty heated debate for him. It would be probably a very easy one for me. And that's not anything. That's not in a cocky way. It's just, when you say something like Russell Westbrook is better all time, it's just kind of like right. It's like dinner. It's right there. And then for Boom, obviously, all I got to do is, pick up a mushroom and wave it in the camera. And he might Michael Jordan is not the greatest, something like that. But it's okay. I'm chilling over here. I can't do anything for everybody that wants to see the fight. I mean, not the fight, the debate. I can't do anything more. The only reason I stitch his videos now is to give other people a history lesson who may not know certain things about the 80s and the 90s and Michael Jordan or the whatever.
Yeah, and I want to add to this about this. Like, everybody asks us, "Where's Boom? Where's Boom? Where's Boom?" We don't know. We don't know where he's at.
Probably
Trust me. Trust me. We don't know where he's at. We've tried. We set it up. We had a day. I told him a month and before what was gonna happen. That it was supposed to be on whatever day we scheduled
May
it on.
17th.
May 17th.
I will remember it forever.
And 5 minutes before the show, he told us he couldn't make it. I texted him right after. Never texted me back. That's what happened.
I texted him and he said, I can't make it because of X, Y, and Z. We're going to have to reschedule it. To which I replied, okay, cool, wonderful. When would you like to reschedule it? And I have not received a text in the past 3 weeks, which is over 21 days. Damn near a month. So, Light Out, I'm going to need you to send me a screenshot of your DM.
Yeah, I got you.
Put it into my video. And I'm going to obviously screenshot mine because if you guys still want to see it, I don't want to be, that guy. But if you want to see it, I'd say just go to his comment section and just ask where he is. Because Easy Huncho is right fucking here.
Yeah.
Light Out is right fucking there. And Light and Hunch is right fucking here. So if he wants to show up and grow a pair of shrooms down yonder, see me right here on Monday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Until that time happens, we have a bunch of other guests coming. OJ Knows Sports will be here most likely next Thursday. OG the Beast will be here. We will have Crafty and Hoopology back soon. So we might be able to squeeze some time in. I'm free when the fuck ever. So, and Light Out, I assume if he ever texts back, will probably free up his schedule just for that.
Yeah. That could be on a Wednesday. I mean, I don't care what it is. Yeah. Whatever day he's available. I don't care. So I think that's the best way to end the show. We want all the smoke. ZZ Honcho's waiting for Boom. Actually, ZZ Honcho's waiting for anyone that wants to smoke. He's here. He's waiting. Call him the Undertaker, the Grim Reaper, whatever you want to call him. He's here. Respectfully, he is here. Now, if you're not respectful, we won't be respectful either. So, anyways, this was Light and Hunch. Thank you for being on the show. This was the man that never misses and the GOAT ZZ Honcho. I'll see you guys in the next one.